this one. Caitlin Clark will win MVP.
That's a fact. Elle, she was as close to the second best odds to win it last year, and I think after we came out of the All Star break, she had a couple of games where I think she was sort of like the favorite to win MVP, and this was no disrespect to obviously Asia Wilson or Nafisa Collier, and obviously Wilson, pulled it down the home stretch and got another one, but Caitlin Clark being in that very, very short list of second best odds, third best odds, and I think that's where she actually finished in her rookie season. Yes. New coach,
Okay.
new veteran players. Yes.
To be clear, there was never a time where she was the favorite to win MVP. There was a time after the All Star break that she made it an interesting conversation because it was a runaway train for Asia Wilson the entire season.
I
Then
disagree.
post All Star break, I mean, Nafisa Collier's the one that finished second, but it became
Yeah.
more interesting. It's like when Jokic is the undisputed guy, and then all of a sudden you see a guy like put together a really great half of the year, Shea Gildas
Hmm.
Alexandra last year. So then all of a sudden the conversation becomes more interesting. But like they
Yeah.
took the odds down. I mean, it was Asia Wilson's to lose. But I will say a couple of things. Do I expect Asia Wilson to be Asia Wilson again this year? Yes. But I also know there is such a thing as voter fatigue. They don't like giving anybody MVP 3 times in a row. They barely like to do it 2 times in a row, let alone 3 times in a row. I just don't see it simply because of voter fatigue. Like it just
Yeah.
is what it is. I also think that Caitlin was putting it together in such a way last year. They're only going to get better, and now they've got a full off season together. I could
Hmm.
100% see this happening. Caitlin Clark winning MVP. Absolutely.
First off, I'm sorry. Caitlin Clark was 100% in the runner-up, or I mean, in the race for MVP, and it was valid. Now that we break down all the stats from last year, Caitlin Clark could have very, very well won MVP. If we're talking about most valuable player to a franchise, Caitlin Clark is more valuable than Asia Wilson to the Aces. 100%. 100%. Asia Wilson plays with an Olympian team. All the girls damn near all-stars. She's not more valuable than Caitlin Clark. What Caitlin Clark produced last year was more valuable to her team and to her franchise than what Asia Wilson was to her franchise. Yes, Asia Wilson averaged however many points, 32, however many points she averaged, right? Caitlin Clark still averaged more points throughout a game than her per year, coming from assist and points scored. That's more valuable, in my opinion. I think she's more valuable. For what Caitlin had to deal with last year with her team compared to Asia Wilson's team, it's more valuable. And in fact, Caitlin Clark probably would have had more assists last year with that team that Asia Wilson was playing on. And they would have won more games, and they would have won deeper in the playoffs. That is guaranteed. No discredit to Asia. She's great, good player. But I think when we're talking about MVP, I think Caitlin Clark is in that conversation. And now I can easily see how Elle Duncan is trying to discredit, because she knows Caitlin Clark is very well likely to win MVP this year, saying that there's going to be voter fatigue and that, it's going to be given to Caitlin Clark because we're tired of voting for Asia. She's so good that we're just going to give it to her. We're tired of it. We're tired of seeing Asia win the MVP race. Let's not do that, Elle. I don't think that's right. I think Caitlin Clark is going to deserve it. I think she's going to win it this year. And I think last year was a very good conversation about her being in the MVP talk. I think she could have won it because most valuable is most valuable. Caitlin Clark averaged more than anybody in the WNBA in points generated in a basketball game per game. That is more valuable than anybody on the team. She won a lot of games as a rookie with a team who only won 11 games last year. She led the league last year in assists as well. And she also led her point guards in the league in rebounds. So we're talking about valuable. I don't know. I don't know, man. It depends how are we grading valuable? So I'm a little confused on what Elle's saying here, because Now I really feel like, forget everything that happened last year. I feel like this year she's already trying to give an excuse on why Caitlin Clark's going to win MVP. Because Asia's been winning it and it's voters fatigue. Are you kidding me? Voters fatigue. This is a new one for me. So even though Caitlin Clark's can go out there and she could earn it, Elle's already throwing it out there that it's voters fatigue. We have to give it to Caitlin Clark. The fans. This is not right. I don't think this is true at all. I think there was a legitimate conversation last year about Caitlin Clark winning MVP. And I think realistically we could have saw it happen. But you know damn well they were not going to let Caitlin Clark win MVP last year. The league would have went on a tear. All the black women in the league, they wouldn't have liked it. All the fans, they would have been talking and just throwing out these crazy narratives. Oh, it's all made for Caitlin Clark. It's all this, it's all that. Just how they're now saying the NBA is rigged for Caitlin Clark because she's at the Pacers game. This is getting ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. I think there's going to be an open field this year. I think everybody is going to have a chance to compete. And I think Caitlin Clark legitimately could win MVP. So I'm a little confused on this conversation and this take by Elle. I really, really am thrown off by it. Voters fatigue. When do we start talking about voters fatigue, guys? Please let me know.
Absolutely. Now, sophomore slumps are real. It happens in every single sport, right? Where they figure your game out a little bit more. Obviously, you counter by knowing a little bit more, but they figure your game out a little bit more. They're a little bit more intentional about trying to stop you, but I think that's probably why.
I mean, it wasn't a little bit. They were already intentional about trying to stop Caitlin Clark. What are we doing here, Elle? They were already intentional of stopping Caitlin Clark. What are we doing here? What? Wow. And we're talking about a rookie who led the team's offense, I guess I should have said. As a rookie, the most responsibility on the court, the point guard.
She's still going to eat. She's still going to play really, really well. And so I could 100% see this happening. Same with number 2 on this list. Paige Becker's winning Rookie of the Year.
I'm not here to talk about Paige Becker's winning Rookie of the Year. Rookie class that got drafted is not that impressive to me. There's I love a more, there's a couple girls out there, whatever the case is, but we know that's going to be the narrative. Paige Becker's the real Caitlin Clark, yeah, okay. Go break the 63 records and do what she did and average what she averaged on all levels, and then we can have a conversation. And by the way, she's going to be on a team like the Dallas Wings, where they're already pretty decent. They already have some pretty good players over there. Versus Caitlin Clark going to Indiana Fever. And I think there's going to be differences as well, how they're treated. As I stated in the last video, there are some other acceptance reasons for Paige Beckers besides being white. I've heard it multiple times on different podcasts about how she represents black people so well. And also, you know, being on the other side of things. They like that. So I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is a crazy take by Elle. I don't think that there's voters fatigue. I think Caitlin Clark's going to earn it if she earns it, period. So that's what I got. Let me know what you guys think. Catch you on the next one. I'm out.